Welcome back to Entertainment Banter. This evening, my name is Joel.
And I'm Matt. Dude, we've been doing this for 70-something podcasts.
Totally
Get it
forgot.
right.
Sorry.
Thank you. This is how it starts. Joel doesn't know how our own podcast starts. All right, go ahead.
But today's a special podcast because
It's special?
Well, we're doing it during the day.
Is it a holiday?
During the day. No, it's not a holiday.
It's during the day. We're sober.
We're doing it indoors, away from people because of the coronavirus. And
we're just giving it to each other.
Oh, there he is. We have a special guest.
The coronavirus. He's here. We have an interview with him.
Am I the first guest?
No.
Are you the coronavirus?
Oh, you had Nick.
Who is this?
Yeah.
Joel, can you introduce who we're talking to, please?
So we're also here with Doug.
Get closer to the mic. You sound quiet.
Me?
Joel.
To your mic. I don't know who has the mic anymore because we're sharing. But we have Doug from Air Supply.
Air Supply.
Yeah, remember Air Supply?
Yeah,
from the 1930s.
You 30s. Son of a bitch! How dare you?
How dare you,
know.
Sir? If you guys ever heard of Air Supply?
Air Supply. So, can you elaborate? What is Air Supply? Since it's from the 1930s, Joel, you seem to be an expert on this.
I know it's a band, and they're somehow still touring.
Yeah,
and Asians love them.
They love Doug, or they love Air Supply.
They love Air Supply. I don't know. I hear stories that when
hey,
they
listen, I love Air Supply too. You know, for someone who loves Deadpool, you should recognize that the Deadpool 2 soundtrack has Air Supply on it.
This is true.
Yeah, Doug, are you on that soundtrack?
Am I? Well, Air Supply is, and I work for Air Supply, so.
Wow.
So when you say you work Air Supply, do you usher people to their seats, or what do you do?
What do you do for Air Supply, Doug?
I play a 5-string instrument in the lower frequencies.
Five strings for a bass?
Yeah. Well, for me, I play 5 in the band. Yeah.
Is that a thing?
It is a thing.
Isn't bass just one string?
For Joel, it is. Joel didn't even know what a bass was until he met me.
He just thought it was someplace you set up all your little action figures. This is their base, you know?
Yeah, this is the base for my G.I. Joe.
Stop laughing, because you're the one playing with me.
I am so proud of every G.I. Joe I have. Don't even make fun of me about that.
While he's making this joke, there's like a million toys behind him.
You ever look at
Yeah, this is the man cave, you know.
Oh yeah, you haven't seen his man cave.
I saw a video.
It's like a nursery/man cave.
Nerdery? Is that what you said?
Yeah, the nerdery. I call it the nerdery.
When I go out and visit him in buttfuck nowhere,
where all the lobsters live,
we hung out there. That's just like he has like a mansion, and it's like he paid $20 for.
$20.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
you financing that?
I actually
he has no
it's
job,
on loan from lobsters. Actually, I got to pay them back.
Oh, there you go.
He's facing a window that sees the freaking beach, but I'm sure it's like snowy.
No, actually, there's no snow on the ground, you smart ass. It's actually a very nice day today.
It's freaking raining right now where we are.
Yeah, it's raining.
Is it? It looks overcast. It could rain, but it's not going to. It looks all right. All right, let's talk Air Supply. Doug, how long have you been with Air Supply?
Doug, silence your phone.
Sorry, so
they're like, where is he? We got a set.
Okay, I'm sorry. Ask the question again. I was rudely interrupted by my phone.
That's okay. How long have you been with Air Supply right now?
Rockstars in their phone.
Since October of 2017 is when I started.
Okay. Wow, that's crazy. Really?
Yeah.
Time flies.
Yeah.
Time flies.
It's been about 2.5 years almost.
Wow,
that's crazy.
2.5 years?
So this whole time you've been on the road, right? This going place to place and all this typical.
I mean, Air Supply does a lot of shows, and most of them fall on like Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. And so we'll leave on a Thursday typically and come back on a Sunday or a Monday. And then when we're overseas, then we might be gone for a little longer, maybe a week or 2 weeks. The longest I've ever been out, like solid, is maybe 3 weeks with them. So it's actually nice because, I have a family, I have 2 kids, and I have a wife. So if I had to be gone for a month at a time, solid, or 2 months, or, there's like an Avril Lavigne tour that I know of, the bass player, they just canceled it because of this whole coronavirus stuff.
Right.
They were going to go on tour for like 4 months straight.
Wow. So, that's what I was thinking too.
Wow, 4 months is so long.
For you, it's not that long because you don't have kids.
Yeah, exactly. I was just going to say, Doug, he's still single, and we know why, but everybody else doesn't know why.
I hope when this airs, I'm
It's
married
because I
with two
turned it
kids.
down. Listen, Joel's the only one I know. Joel, how did that work out?
Yeah, seriously. Don't you like air these a week later?
No, they end up only airing like months later. But...
Oh, okay, months later.
Oh, well, we're trying to get more relative. Our bald listener
It's
keeps saying,
yeah, it's
like,
not gonna work.
yesterday, that was weeks ago when we had talked about it. So, I mean, he leaves comments like that. So.
Oh,
we
okay.
always make that disclaimer, though. Like, we always make that disclaimer, so it doesn't matter. People that listen know. We talk relevant, but then you just hear about it later.
But it's probably still relevant. I mean, Corona's probably going to kill us. But is coronavirus
a year and a
affecting-
half, they said.
Well, I
it's gonna
have it
last
already.
year and a half.
You have it?
Well, we're all carriers at this point.
Yeah.
Now, right?
Yeah.
Well, California
Yeah, so there
is.
you go.
It's going to become like
Oh,
Italy
California.
very shortly.
I was watching something that, or actually, the Joe Rogan podcast. He had this guest
Yep.
on there who's. Have you seen that one? This
I haven't seen it, but I know. Yeah, I haven't
Okay.
seen it yet. No.
Or are we
But
not
go ahead.
promoting other podcasts on your podcast?
I
We
don't
haven't
give a
yet.
crap.
We don't know.
If Joe,
Nick, don't
hey,
go to
Joe,
other
this is for
podcasts,
you.
please.
Go for it.
We
Doug from
need
Air
your
Supply.
fanship.
He
Well,
listens to you. Keep going.
Well, anyways, they were talking about how a lot of people can carry the virus and not even
Yes.
really show any symptoms.
Nick has it. Nick came from Shanghai. He has it.
Well,
He's giving people it.
Well, supposedly they're dating this back to in November of last year in China, and I was in China in December.
Great.
Oh yeah.
Great.
Yeah,
I was
that's
in
crazy.
Hong Kong, so
Yeah.
So
you know, I definitely, I'm sure I have it.
when I
Well,
join my tour
we've
again,
had
I'm
a lot
taking
of
it with
people
me.
that were working over in China at that time. So I mean,
Right.
Jeff Hankey too.
Yeah, Hanky, right? Hanky was in
Yeah.
Hong Kong. So was
Yeah.
Nick, wasn't he?
Nick and Heather. I think
Yeah.
didn't Heather go over there?
I don't know about Heather. I mean, but I mean, and most people they say like 80% of people that have it don't even know, and that as long as they incubate themselves and stay low and just chill out, it goes away
Wash
on
your
its own.
fucking hands.
Well, they say it's airborne too, so it doesn't.
Well, they're also saying now you can
it-
live on surfaces
it
for
can
up to
be.
3 days.
Yes. So they said I don't know how we're not talking about air supply, but okay. So anyways, like yes, like,
Well, because coronavirus
the
is affecting my air
aliens that listen to our-
supply.
The human
Yeah,
race
see?
is extinct,
It's
and the
about the air
aliens that
supply.
find these documents,
Yeah, you think it's about the band, but it's
Entertainment
really about
Banter, coronavirus. Next
no,
week,
no, because coronavirus is
supply's here.
affecting entertainment, and air supply is not a band. It's actually how you get air supplied to you.
This is so dumb. All right.
I'm all out
If
of
you wanna know
love.
about coronavirus,
Wait, what's the song?
just read about
All
it
Out
of Love. All Out
or
of Love?
something. Let's talk. Doug,
talk about
what
something
was
else?
the coolest place? What was the coolest place you went and
You went
played
to
at?
Israel without me.
Or so are you asking Joel or you're asking Doug? Because
No,
Joel is
I
answering
am not.
for me.
I ignore. Whenever we have guests, I tend to ignore Joel completely and just talk to the guests.
So the coolest place I've visited or the coolest place I've played? Those are two separate
let's-
questions.
Let's,
It
let's,
really
let's
is, huh?
answer
Yeah.
both. Yeah, go ahead, and answer both because I like that.
So
go ahead,
the
and answer both of those.
So the coolest place that I played that I was like really kind of like wowed about was the Sydney Opera House.
You played the Sydney Opera House?
Yes.
Fuck.
That's cool. That is
Yeah.
And that
cool.
doesn't coordinate to being the coolest place you've been because Australia is pretty cool.
Well, Australia is very cool, but as far as the coolest place that I've been, in my opinion, is it's kind of a toss-up between Amsterdam and Japan.
Oh,
Okay.
fuck, Japan.
Yeah, Japan's
How long
cool.
were you in
Yeah.
Japan for?
We were there for at least like 3 or 4 days because we
That's
played in
it.
Tokyo and Osaka.
That's nothing though. You're
That's
not.
cool.
You're not even there. Like I feel like you get to go there.
Well, that's part of
Right.
being
Touring.
in a touring
Yeah.
act,
Yeah.
a musical act. It's not the same as going and sitting down for 2 weeks with a musical, theater production or
Yeah.
whatever with a musical. But
Yeah.
with bands, we're there for 1 day. We play 1 day, maybe 2 days at the most. Well, no, actually, there's some places that will play 3 days, but most places we only play 1 day. And then
Yeah.
we'll go on to the next city or the next country or the next state or whatever.
Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing how much you travel back home, and I mean, it's probably a good thing for you, but does it wear on you? Because, like you said, compared to like doing like a theatrical tour or something like that, where you can get some roots in for at least a week or two.
Well,
like,
depending on
you're
the
just
tour
fucking-
with that's because
Right.
there's other tours
No,
that are doing one-offs as well.
That's true. That's true. But but with this particular tour that he's doing, does it get tiresome to constantly just hop and go, hop and go, hop and go?
Well, yeah, of course it does. But I mean, this is something I wanted to do since I was 15 years old, and no matter what gig you get, even if it's a stay-home gig, there's always pros and cons. The travel is just something that you deal with. But fortunately, I like being at airports. I like being on the plane. I like that sense of going somewhere
that
new,
weird?
somewhere different, you know.
I do too.
Yeah,
Like
same.
anytime we
Yeah,
finish a loadout, and I'm like, what gets me through the night is like, I'm gonna be at the airport tomorrow. I'm gonna get this nice breakfast there, and I'm gonna hop
Yeah.
on this plane.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like that excites me for whatever stupid
It is
reason.
cool. It is cool, and I always love, like when my Facebook app is up and running because my phone's so full. Like when I stalk you guys, it is cool to see all the different things that you guys get to do, and
You
it's
have the
kind of fun to
iPhone.
see that.
He can still plug his iPhone in, so he must have something like
Yeah,
6.
exactly. Oh my gosh, how dare you, sir? I hate you. This is not that time, Joel.
It's
By
got to
the
be a
way,
6 or no, because 6. No, it's got to be newer, older than that because I think it's 6 in it.
Oh, he
Are
has
we
an
really-
iPhone 5.
Probably.
it's a 6. Hey, listen, Jack. Listen, before we started this pod, I just want you to know, while you were trying to sync for 20 minutes, I plugged my thing in and it was working. So go F yourself.
Can
That's
I
all I have
say,
to say about that.
I went to the Magic Castle last night,
Yes.
and our buddy Saul drives. Shout out to Saul. Woo. And he has a Model 3 Tesla. It's the first time I've been in a Tesla for longer
really?
than like 10 minutes. So we were in traffic. We drove, but like I didn't realize halfway through the
How
freaking
is that
drive.
going without going?
Hold on. For the first 20 minutes, I didn't notice, but he wasn't even touching the wheel half the time because it was auto driving.
Oh, he was in the
Right.
auto.
Yes. And I'm like,
Right.
And also too, he probably had it on that adaptive cruise control, so he didn't have to touch the pedal
Right.
either.
right.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
you didn't
yeah.
really have to touch anything.
Nothing. But the thing yelled at me. I tried to
touching
shut his
himself.
glove compartment, and it told me, like, shut it nicely. I'm like, fuck you, Tesla. Don't tell me what to do. But it's like, I was like, to the subject, like, of your phone, the Tesla is now just a giant iPhone. He
Yeah.
literally parked it, and it said updating. I'm like, fuck your car. And, like, as soon as you plug it in, it's like, you ready to update? It's like, that's your iPhone.
Joel, it's like the Rise of Skywalker. The Star Destroyers won't take off without the update.
Yeah. No, it just needs the update. And it's just like, it's just a weird boggling to me. It's just, anyways, back to Air
Wait. Did he do the summons feature too after when you guys
What's the summons feature?
Well, the summons feature is that basically, after you've parked your car or whatever, and let's just say, oh, okay, and now I want to get my car, you can hit the summons feature on your phone. Now it's still in beta, but the car will come to you. It will drive
he doesn't
itself
have
to
that
you.
feature.
It's like the
Okay.
Batmobile.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
all that's coming. It's all.
Oh, man,
now
that's
there's,
gonna be
there's
standard
absolutely,
features in the
there's no reason now to own the car. Like, you shouldn't own a Tesla because like every 3 years you'll just get a new one, upgrade. So it's like an iPhone now. Like, oh, I got the Tesla X, I got the Tesla X2.
Yeah, but that's a big ass
But it has a giant
dumping
iPad
ground
in
in
it.
China. It's one thing to dump all our cell phones in China. It's another thing to start dropping cars over there.
Well, Elon wants to take all the cars. Apparently, this is his master plan. As soon as like the lease is up on your car and you trade in for a new one, he's taking
Yep.
all the old Model 3s and it's going to be a giant automated taxi fleet.
Oh, yeah, that makes
So
sense.
no one's going to pick you up. The car will be there. And he also wants it that when you park your car, this is the crazy thing. When you park your car at work, you set your car, go, all right, car, go make money for me. And it drives off and does Uber for you while you're at work. So it
yeah.
makes money for you while you're working.
There you
so
go.
your bitch car, your slave of a car, is working for you while you're not even home.
I like that. That's
Oh
a good
my
idea.
gosh. What about wear and tear and mileage,
Every 3 years, you get a new freaking car.
My gosh. Well, we'll see how that goes. I feel like we're watching, what was that movie with Will Smith where, like,
I
Robot.
they
robot.
had all... Is that what it was? I Robot? Yeah. Shia LaBeouf. He still
Shia
had a
LaBeouf was not in
motorcycle, though. Yeah, he was.
I
It was back
robot.
when he was like even Stevens afro.
Wait,
or
was
whatever.
he in there?
I don't
He started.
know.
He started
Oh my
swearing
God.
like crazy. He was like, "That was
He
a
is in it,
breakthrough
isn't he?
movie." That was like Miley Cyrus riding that wrecking ball naked. That was his out. I swear now, I'm not a Disney kid anymore. This
Holy
has been
crap,
a great air
he
supply
is
conversation.
Not in it. He's not in it.
So-
is he? I don't see
Stop
him in
looking
here.
that up right now,
I have to look it up.
Doug. All right, be
Yes.
real with me. How many
Yes.
times?
He is in it.
Oh, I'm
Really?
sorry. He's
How
yelling.
many times do you fuck up? I know this is what I deal with all the time. All right, so how many times do you fuck up and get away with it?
I mean, it's live music, so of course, once in a we call it, like, if you hit a wrong note, especially on the bass, which can be very
Yeah.
noticeable. It's called
Yeah.
a clam. We call it a clam. So you hit a clam, that means you hit the
Yeah.
wrong note, right?
Does it fuck up the?
Yeah.
Who is it? Russ and
Russ.
Who are the
No,
singers?
his name is Russell.
Russell?
You cannot call him Russ.
Oh, sorry,
No,
Russell.
it's
Please
Russell.
don't listen to this.
Russell's going to listen to it.
He trust me. He
I don't
probably
even know what
will.
the podcast is. He's so old. It's born in
Oh,
the
come on.
1920s.
Yes,
No.
yet.
No. Anyways,
He's the demographic, by the way. But anyways,
the demographic is all 70-year-olds.
for coronavirus,
Oh. Anyways, I thought you meant for your podcast.
Yeah, well,
So how many times do I fuck up and get away with it? I mean, I haven't been fired
I
yet.
don't want
How
you
do you-
like, I don't want
how
you
do
to
you
like keep
fuck up
track
5
of them all. I'm
streams?
just saying, like, every once in a while, you're just kind of like, oh shit, I hope no one noticed that.
That is a good question. Have you fucked up so bad on stage
Mm-hmm.
where someone looked at you and like, what the fuck was that?
Oh yeah, of course. But I mean, the thing is that I mean, you have 4 other humans in the band, you know, that also could potentially fuck up. So
I'm sure they have, right?
which they have, of course. So there's guitar, bass, keyboards, drums, and then Graham, obviously. So it's technically 6 because you know, the vocalist as well. But you know, any of us could mess up at any time. So, and all of us have. So, you know, if you fuck up, it's not a big deal. It's only a big deal if you're fucking up a lot and or always at the same time. Or you know, something like that. But yeah, if it's kind of expected that you're gonna mess up once in a while.
You're human.
You're human. It's just like, how many times have you done automation and you know, you mess up once in a while, right? Except for you, it's like you guys, it's like life and death, right? For us, it's just like, oh, you look like an ass. That's all.
Oh, yeah, I got some fuck ups that I have had to own. Like, I didn't take people's attention, and we had to cut it because, like, oh, cut it. Oh, guys, what happened? Yeah, I didn't press the button.
Yeah, that's funny. So because Joel, have you seen Doug's show?
I have. I got to go see it in Beverly
Yeah.
Hills in this really shitty theater.
Yeah, Doug, is it pretty much the same
Was it not
every
shitty?
time? Do you guys? Is it the same every time? They still go out in the house, or does it change based on the venue?
Oh, you mean this?
Just
as far as the show, or
itself.
Like, the change the
show.
sets and all that and all
well,
that?
I
Yeah.
mean, obviously, Air Supply has been around for about 45 years. And they do have at least 7 or 8, maybe even 9 top 10 or top 40 hits.
Yeah.
So those hits
I'm all out of Doug.
we have to play because you know
without you.
those are the bread and butter.
Of course,
and that's
those are the of course.
That's what puts
People are going.
asses in seats. You know, so obviously we had to play those songs, but there are at least like 2 or 3 other songs that are a little more modern that we can switch out because Graham, who's the principal songwriter, he is constantly writing songs.
That's cool.
So there are a few songs that we can switch out, but I mean the kind of the base, if you will, of the set, you know, all the hits are always going to be played at every single show.
So let me ask you this: have they created a new song since you've been on tour?
Oh, absolutely. Graham
Really?
Graham is constantly, he travels with this acoustic guitar that he even has in his hotel room because there's all of our gear travels with the crew and or is carted from gig to gig, and that kind of lives with the crew, and they set it up at every show and tear it down at every show. And then if you want to have your own, let's say, guitar or bass that you want to take with you to the hotel, you kind of have to carry that yourself. And he does. He carries an acoustic guitar with him pretty much everywhere he goes. So he is constantly writing new songs. That's just what he does.
So have you actually yourself played any of these new songs for the first time with them? That's
absolutely.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's
like
cool.
Son of the Father is actually one of them that we've been playing for a little bit now that he wrote and is a newer song. And I actually got to write a bass line on because obviously these songs are older songs.
Yep.
You know, I didn't necessarily write the bass lines for them because there were songs that existed a long time ago. But we do a lot of new versions of old songs as well. So
That's cool.
So sometimes I get a little bit of creative input when it comes to the bass line only, not the melody or the harmony or anything like that. You know.
That's awesome.
So if he records a new album and you create the bass line for it, would you get residuals for that?
Probably not. I mean, maybe for the sound recording, I'm gonna get a mechanical, but it's not something that I would expect.
Right. But you do have a hand in it, and that's cool.
Yeah,
I mean, that's something that they can't deny that aspect of it. That's
Right,
really
yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that
Alright.
your crew and everything travels. Like, does everybody travel with you on the same bus?
Yes,
And everything?
yes,
And does all the
yes.
gear travel on that as well?
Yes.
So you don't have trucks. You
Yeah,
just
Russell
have-
and Graham they're not like divas or hardcore rock stars in that sense where it's like, no, we have to have our own buses, separate or whatever. No, they like to be with the crew, they like to be with the whole band, they like to hang out, so they're very actually down to earth guys. super
That's
down
cool.
to earth.
Yeah, they seem pretty chill when you're backstage.
For being, guys who have been successful for, over 4 decades. I mean, they're pretty down to earth.
And
That's
so,
cool.
how do you guys, when you travel on sleeper buses, everyone's on a sleeper bus? And
Yeah, there's 12 bunks in our bus, and then we have one, and there's 11 of us that travel all together with the band and crew and tour manager and all that. It's 11. So then we have one junk bunk, and then we're all in the bunks.
wow, and then
That's cool.
But we
Go
don't.
ahead, Joel.
We don't use the tour bus for every run. Sometimes we use rental cars. Sometimes we just fly from gig to gig. Sometimes we just, they just rent, like a van or something for all of us. It just really depends. Like on this run that we're going to do this weekend, we're going to have a tour bus. But we fly to the first gig, and then from the first gig to the next gig, we'll be on a tour bus.
and they rent the tour buses.
Yeah, they rent the tour
Okay.
buses. We don't own a tour bus.
And then how do you get the gear? All your gear, does it get just shipped?
No, well, again, it kind of depends on the gig. Now, if we have a tour bus, we normally are pulling a trailer, and we'll put all the gear in the trailer. But the thing is that we travel with a limited amount of gear because we fly to a lot of gigs too, and we fly overseas. So I think we only have I don't know the exact number. Our production manager would know, and our tour manager would know. But I think it's like 27 cases.
Wow. Okay.
But these are small cases, We don't travel with a drum set. We don't travel with keyboards. We don't travel with amps, guitar amps. We backline all that stuff locally where we're at.
Wow.
The only thing that
Gotcha.
we really travel with is our own guitars, our own pedal boards, our own like RF, as far as the wireless for the guitars and the wireless for our in-ear
That's good to know. I wouldn't have thought that. I thought you guys would have brought all that stuff. That's interesting.
No, they're obviously
It's cheaper.
Yeah, they're.
I mean, it makes
cheaper.
sense when you're traveling every week. It makes sense. So.
Yeah.
But I didn't know because some keys, for example, like I, get one that fucking sticks or something. It's just like, every one has their own instruments. I didn't know if that was something that would matter or not. But that's interesting.
Yeah.
Doug, we know that Asia loves Air Supply.
Yes.
Can you tell us your experience when you went there, when you first got off the plane and all that? I like this story.
Okay.
Well, because weren't they screaming like you're the Beatles? Or?
Okay, hold on. Which part of Asia? Because there's
Not the Wuhan.
Is there a part of Asia that hates Air Supply, Doug?
No, but I mean,
Because didn't you like when you
it's-
guys got off the plane? It felt like it was just like you're the Beatles
The best
coming off the
experience,
plane.
the best, like you get off the plane and they're throwing gold bars at you or something. I don't know. It's like what's
Well, it's a
They're
different
laying you with
experience
flowers, not
in
the other
different
way.
parts of Asia. That's the thing, Like if you go to China, China is obviously a communist country, right?
Right.
And they're getting more and more, and over the years, have gotten more and more musical acts that have come to China. But for a long time, they were kind of shut down. They were kind of shut down, right?
yeah.
But so when you
Hong Kong's thriving.
Well, yeah, Hong Kong, but let's say, because we do sometimes more inland China as well. I mean, we've done Hong Kong and Macau, and they've done those a bunch of times, but we'll also do places like Nanjing and Guangzhou, and Shanghai, yeah, of course, that's a major city, but some of these other cities that maybe you wouldn't even think of or even know of if you're just a regular American, who doesn't know geography or other countries.
Right.
But anyways, when you go into these places and you play these shows, the way the audience experiences the concert is way different than anywhere else in the world. It's specifically in China, because you'll play a show and normally after you're done with a song, the audience is gonna whistle and yell and clap and all that stuff. In China, they only clap, and it's like literally for like 5 seconds and then they stop.
What?
So you
Right.
play a song and then you'll hear this clap and then complete silence.
Wow.
And you're
Oh,
like,
no.
whoa. So it's really weird when you're doing an encore, because normally an encore is like they're cheering you on to do the rest of the set.
So it's just like a one clap. And that's it.
Yeah, it's almost like a one clap.
If they do more, they're
Was
gonna
that
get
the encore
shot.
clap? I couldn't-
You hear that one guy clap extra, you just hear a gunshot in the background. You're like, well, he's gone.
Yeah, and like I said, there's no whistling, there's no woohoos, it's just only clapping. So when you're out there and you go off stage and you're waiting to do the encore and you just hear a silence out there, you're like, did they leave? Like,
Well, I mean, I'm not sure about China versus Japan, but Asian culture as a whole, it's more of a respect to be silent, right?
I
Originally,
think so.
and
I think so.
they're becoming more westernized with the clapping.
Yeah,
That's why it's just maybe 5 claps and then you're done.
Yeah,
It's like,
exactly.
oh, that was
God.
racy. You almost did 6.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think the Asian culture is a little more reserved, so maybe that's part of it too. Obviously, it's a cultural thing, but it is jarring and weird for a band that's used to almost anywhere else in the world. It's standard, you play a song and you end, and people go fucking ape shit, and they clap and they whistle and they howl and they do that kind of stuff. And especially during their encore, they're going to do that, And when they don't do that, you're just like, oh, okay, well, this is different.
What'd I do?
Did we suck? They must have heard that clam I played.
That's funny. So Joel, did that answer your question about them liking him, or what? Or Air Supply as a whole?
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed every second of the clapping. I'm going to clap for you, Matt, like this.
Just one. Encore.
No, it's 5 claps.
Oh, okay, sorry.
I wonder if that's how it was like musicals. I wonder because there's musicals that tour in China. Well, not anymore because they're postponed due to a certain.
Yeah. Well, okay. Yeah, we've already been there. That is the first 10 minutes of our podcast.
Right. And like, I just imagine like for like say like the Lion King's out there, and you hear like, oh, there's Mufasa. Like, is there a standing ovation? What do they do?
No.
That's it.
Whoever stands gets shot. So it's just like, if you're a performer, what does that do to you? Because you live for that energy.
Exactly.
You live for that, and that's what you're doing it for.
Yeah,
because you always hear like, there's no one out there. Well, it's like,
stand up and clap for me.
Well, because like you always hear like performers like, well, I don't want to, like, I'm not going to give 100% because there's only 20 people out there. But you know, like how they always say at Disney, you need to like give 100% regardless. There's only one person out there, but you really won't, because when you hear that applauding, you give more. You
well, it definitely gives you more.
Yeah, it gives you more energy. It gives you more adrenaline. You feel like, wow, they're really receptive, and they're really enjoying the concert, and that does affect your performance. Absolutely.
Of course,
it just sounds like as they walk through the door in the theater in the hall, they're just like, as you come in, you clap 5 times. You clap 5 times.
Well,
like they just tell you as you walk in, like, you clap more than that. It's a 5-time house.
I don't want to talk about the coronavirus, but like schools are canceling, like colleges and stuff, and they're doing online classes now, which is great. But I was telling my wife, like, if you're in entertainment, like you were just saying, like, what if you're a theater major? Like, half of your class is acting with other people and reaction, and how are you going to do that online? You know what I mean? It's weird. And music too. I mean, you can kind of make it work, but
look, it's a pandemic. You got to wait.
Personal interaction.
You're gonna have to wait until the ship blows over.
Well, so far, and I know you haven't asked a question, but I think you might have asked it earlier. So far, it hasn't affected our shows.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But I mean, this is just recently. I think somebody came out and said, some kind of government official said that any gatherings more than 250 people, they recommend not attending.
So your show's okay then?
Actually, there's no fly zones now. Didn't they just cancel flights now? Like to Europe?
You can't fly to Europe.
Can't fly to Europe. Can't fly to China.
You can't even. They canceled Coachella recently, or postponed.
Postponed Coachella. Yeah.
Which
they
is
canceled South by Southwest.
Yeah. I'm sure Comic-Con is on that table because that's an international.
It's on the chopping block. Well, the E3's
that is an international freaking melting.
Oh yeah, of course. Well, and E3's gone too. The gaming.
E3's been canceled.
Expo. Yeah. So it's happening. All right.
The thing is Disneyland. Why are we talking about this? We don't want to.
No, we're not going to talk about it. Let's move on. So before we got to go, because it's running short on time, right, Joel?
Yeah.
I remember watching Doug at a disclosed location that we used to work, and some people still have day jobs there, but you always played your guitar on breaks, and I thought it was like, I always admired you for that. And at first I'm, you could be like that cynic smoking the cigar, like, oh, keep playing, motherfucker, it ain't gonna do you no good. But you consistently did it, and I always admired you for it. And I was so happy when you finally got this gig, and so I'm proud of you. You're doing a good job. Yeah, what kind of advice would you give somebody that's kind of like been where you're at in your shoes prior to this engagement, and what would you tell them? What would you have them do if they wanted some advice?
Okay, ask the question again. What would
like if someone wanted to get into what you're doing? If I wanted to be
where you are, like, how did you get to this point in your life?
Let's say Matt's a bass player too.
Was it constant? Was it constant networking and casting? Or was it like,
Casting
or was
couch.
it kind of like, like you just practiced your honed your skills, your art? Did you join, band clubs? I mean, like, what did you do?
Well, I mean, band clubs,
I'm
podcasts.
just being an asshole, but you know what I'm saying. Like somebody
Well,
that's in
it's
LA right now, trying
right.
to go from place to place, bar to bar, playing their music. What kind of advice would you give them?
Well, it's kind of a combination of all those things, minus the band club, whatever that is. But yeah, I mean,
Jazz band, after school. Man.
obviously practicing and getting better at your craft, that's super important. But at the same time, if you're just sitting in your room all day and playing, the greatest things, who's ever going to see you?
Well, you're not going to get Corona that way, which is great.
There we go with the Corona. Obviously YouTube is a big thing now too, where people are recording themselves playing so that other people can potentially.
Did you do the YouTube route?
I wasn't that heavily into the whole YouTube thing, and I don't know, maybe that hurt me. I don't know. I wasn't super great at marketing myself, but obviously networking is a big part of it. Playing with as many people as you can. And always, whatever gig you do, whether you're getting paid or not, always showing up prepared and always being professional and always being a good hang is obviously a big part of touring. It's not just about, hey, can this person play good and does he look good, or he or she. It's also about, can this person, hang. Can this person hang and and be cool and get along with everybody, and because obviously touring, you're dealing with a lot of people 24/7.
It's intimate. Yeah.
Yeah, 24/7 in your close quarters with these people, and if you're just being an ass all the time, you're just making everybody's life miserable. And obviously, that's a big deal, is being able to hang and be cool and be able to roll with the punches when you're on the tour and all that kind of stuff. So, for me, I got the gig through the MD, his name is Aaron McLean, and I've known him for a long time. And he's the one that gave me the opportunity to perform with Air Supply, and I didn't really have to audition. I was just he just said, "Hey, why don't you come in?" And but this is based on me playing with him for so many years in his solo project, and he knew that I was going to be prepared, and that I was going to be able to hang. And that it was not going to be an issue, because there's no rehearsal with Air Supply. It's basically you come on the gig and...
Oh, shit.
Yeah, there's no rehearsal.
You just have to start playing.
Well, I mean, they give you the music ahead of time to do your homework.
I mean, you can find the music too. It's not hard.
Yeah, but I mean, the versions that they do now are a lot different than the recorded versions.
So when you go up on stage and all that, it's literally just like, here's a song we're doing. Better play it. Is that what kind of it is?
Well, no, they gave me a recording, like a board mix of a live show, and they gave that to me, and it was an hour and 45-minute show, and just basically said, "Here, learn that." It was no.
Wow.
Well, actually, I did get some charts for the basic chord changes or whatnot, but I mean, obviously, I had to learn all the lines, so I had about 2 or 3 weeks to learn all that stuff. And then we just kind of showed up. I showed up on the first day of the gig, my first gig, and we went through it in sound check, and that was it. And they just throw you to the lines, kind of thing.
That's pretty trusting of them too. That's awesome.
They have to, I guess, at that point. That's a lot of. Could be a lot of pressure on people if they're not ready.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's the point of showing people that you are going to be prepared for a gig. I mean, Aaron wouldn't know that unless he had experience with me before.
Right.
Right. So, and that was just me before just wanting to play with everybody, and I respected him because he was playing with Mark Anthony, and he had this resume of a bunch of other artists that he played with that are kind of bigger artists. So, I wanted to be on that level as well. So. I was trying to do anything that I could to be noticed, as far as not just looks. It's not just about looks. It's
you got the look, Doug.
It's about being prepared and being professional, and people not coming into a situation and being like, "Oh, I'm worried about him. I don't know if he can do it." Not having confidence. You want people to have confidence in you.
Sure, absolutely,
so,
especially in performance.
Exactly. So I mean, that is part of the whole practicing all the time, because you want to be good at your craft and be able to adapt to things really quickly, and that only happens with experience.
Honing your skills.
Honing your
That's
skills.
awesome.
And that goes for any craft, not just music, obviously.
Sure.
Any technical craft, or even being a good salesman, and it just takes experience and practice, and being able to deal with people and whatnot.
That's cool. Well, Joel, do you have any final thoughts, bud, on this subject matter?
I think it's great to know that no matter what you do in a lot of the entertainment fields, that you have to. It's not just who you know. While that helps, it's what you know. So like the whole demographic of like, oh, you just need to know people in the field, but it's actually like knowing their craft enough to where the person who does know you is willing to take that chance on you. So
Yes,
in any part of this entertainment world, it could be either a musician, it could be backstage work, it could be an actor, it could be almost anything. As long as who you know gets you in the right direction, and then your craft proves the rest of it, you'll be all right in this world and doing what you want to do.
So be prepared. Boy Scout motto.
Be prepared.
You always have to bring it back to you, don't you? You just can't let it go. All right.
Let it go.
Well, Doug, thank you so much for doing this pod with us. I'm going to end
Into
it now.
the
'Cause
unknown.
he's going to just keep doing this. So thank you for listening to Entertainment Banter. My name is Matt.
And I'm Joel. And I'm done.